And just one story to that mug. He told us his friends gave him that mug, but I'm sure he just printed it for himself.
His friends?
Yeah, his friends. You know what we're talking about. And Silhan told me he's gonna grow his beard until the 14 weeks are over. That he told me that on Skype. So after 14 weeks, he will look like Santa
I'm
Claus.
currently doing the same.
Yeah, but you're not gonna look like Silhan even after 2 years of growing your beard.
Damn it!
It's just not going to
Damn
happen.
it!
And we see a rogue, but this time versus a warlock, and it's a handlock. So we got
And
Harrison Jones.
Harrison
You
Jones.
wanted to throw the Harrison Jones out. I'm sorry.
That's really good. Especially like you see more and more Harrison Jones in decks because there are so many Miracle Rogues. We all like every single game had a Miracle Rogue in it, and more are running Assassin's Blade. So you get extreme value out of this Harrison.
That's correct. And there's a just crazy hand for Silhan. Double Mountain Giant already. That's just crazy.
And
For
Defender.
yeah, for Lothar, well, he has an Earthen Ring Farseer. But no saps, just double backstab, a shadow stab, which is at the moment useless. Silhan definitely has a better hand. The big question is, can he just play it to the outcome he really wants to have it? So he's gonna play a Mountain Giant turn 4 probably. Yep. He can drop an Ancient Watcher now, and he can even silence it. So not only silence, just taunt it up turn 5. This is a really crazy hand for Silhan. And if it's,
I think he's gonna throw the Giant, and then the round afterwards he plays Giant, Taunt Owl, and just silences his Watcher. Yeah, then his board is crazy. Like, how are you gonna deal with it? You need to have a weapon up, double Deadly Poison, Sulnus, Blade Flurry, and beforehand you need to take 8 damage and do crazy stuff. Like, it's almost impossible to get rid of that board.
The annoying thing is, you can sap a Mountain Giant, but
He's
then
just gonna throw it back at you.
And even well, it will cost less. Since you throw it up in his hand, so he plays it turn 4. You throw it up in his hand, and next turn he can play it for 3 or 2 if I'm not mistaken. So that's just some super cheap minion for him, and he has 2 of those in his hand. This is just really amazing.
Super cheap minion.
Yeah, a super cheap minion. I know what you're talking about. There we see the first Mountain Giant coming.
Yep. He's gonna throw it down. Kaboom. I really like the sound when he throws it down.
Well, the
feels so threatening.
The sad thing is you did the sound, but we didn't hear the sound. So
we could voice over the sounds.
No, we couldn't.
Live.
No.
Well, I could, but I'm not allowed to, guys.
Yeah, we have to keep it serious. At least 10% serious during a show. So no one is like running away from you.
You're always so professional, Mats.
Sometimes.
I envy your professionalism.
There's the one Mountain Giant dead, but the second is coming. You said it, and he can also coin and silence. You were talking about that too. And not only he can kill the 1/1 if he wants to, and Soulfire the 3/3. But you want to keep your Soulfire.
Nah, you cannot Soulfire right now. Not with your hand. It's just too risky.
Well,
the only thing, like, what would you want to lose out of this hand? Like, I would say either Selnus or Siphon Soul.
Well, Selnus or Siphon Soul. Well, if you lose your Molten Giant, you get a Mountain out. That's okay. That would be acceptable. But let's talk about Lothar then. I mean, how much damage can he do? He can go 12 damage plus Preparation. Eviscerate, 16, 19. He can do 20 damage in 1 turn. If he really wants to, that would be bursting away his whole hand, and your enemy would have a lot of small dragons roaming around.
Wait, how much does he... 20 damage?
Yeah, with double Leroy, Preparation, Eviscerate, attack with a minion, and with a weapon. That's the most damage he could do this turn, if he would overcommit everything. But then he's like kind of screwed, because he has nothing left in his hand to...
That might not be even bad.
Well, it might not even bad, but I guess you're rather going for Eviscerate, and you could even attack with your SI7, and then Shadow Stab him to deal the missing 2 damage on the Mountain Giant if you Eviscerated it. That would hurt, since you used your Shadow Stab for your SI7 agent, but in the end...
He's gonna just tank 8 damage.
Well, not.
No, he's not.
He's Well, it's getting close here with the timer, but he keeps his weapon, so he didn't attack.
I think I would have tanked the damage.
You would have tanked the damage?
Yeah, I would have tanked 8 damage.
Just to keep your Shadow Step?
Yeah, you need it. Like, the problem is, if there are taunts, it's ridiculously hard for you. You have to try to...
Harrison value. This is just crazy. He kept his weapon, didn't attack once. And Silhan just draws 2 cards off the spot, and he has his 4-4.
Wow. And the Soulfire draws his big game hunter. That's just perfect.
Yeah, it could be way worse. As you said,
now, like every single card has more value than a big game hunter against a rogue. There's only the cold-blooded minions you can big game hunter, or a really big Van Cleef. But in the recent matches, we saw that every rogue just made the Van Cleef be 6/6. So your big game hunter had 0 value.
Double Siphon Soul, crazy too. He just goes up to 26 again, has a 5/3, a 4/3 minion on the board. The first auctioneer for Lothar, so better late than never. He's getting a Van Cleef and no spell. This is so annoying. You're playing a preparation and you're begging the RG gods for a spell.
This is so painful.
6/6 Van Cleef. You could complain about it. Yeah, it will get Siphon Sold, most likely. He could also just play the Defender of Argus on the Twilight Drake and the Harrison Jones to kill it. Just saying, it's a possible play.
Well, both minions would die.
Yeah, both minions would die, but you would have a taunted Twilight Drake. This move is just brings...
Gets a Sun Fury. That guy is ridiculously lucky with his Sun Soulfires.
Well, one player has to be ridiculously lucky since...
Well, you can be lucky once, but twice?
Well, Planicky went lucky 4 times in a row. Well, not
wow,
lucky.
No, it's not luck to win with Miracle Rogue.
They win 4 times with a Miracle Rogue. Now it's time for eSuba to come back with their Warlock, their favorite class actually. So this is going to be a win for Silhan. Next turn, he just goes Defender of Argus, 11 damage GG. If not, Leroy is killing a minion.
Oh, yeah, he concedes.
Well, anything like that roaming around for...
Well, we see he has a Warlock and a Druid. If it's Handlock, I would go Handlock Mirror. If it's Zoo, I wouldn't... Well, you could also run Zoo against Handlock, but it's really risky. It entirely depends on the draw.
I'm not sure. Both decks are potent and can work. Maybe it's Zoo, maybe it's Handlock himself. Maybe it's just a Druid with 2 big game hunters.
Would you, in a best of 3, would you go with a Druid? Like with 2 big game... I mean, would you put 2 big game hunters into your deck? I think it's so risky because I know it's good against Control Warrior, it's also good against Brem Druids and against those Handlocks that are up and coming, but you cannot play Druid against a Miracle Rogue then.
But if
like, it's impossible to... Like, it's not impossible, but it's rather risky to go for double big game hunter Druid against a Miracle Rogue.
But if you're in this situation now, and you're maybe screwed, since... well, you lost the game, and if you lose again, you're out. You might just have the double big game hunter version prepared. That could be fact, doesn't have to be. And we see again a really nice start for Silhan. So there's a Twilight Drake, there's a Sunfury Protector, and there's also Ancient Watcher, Ironbeak all ready to drop on the board. And Lothar has no silence. That guy is going extremely unlucky this round. Without a silence, you really don't want to play against a Handlock. No. Turn 4, Twilight Drake, and you have the like you got 2 keepers. That's your super weapon against Twilight Drakes.
That's true.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous early turns for Lothar if he has nothing, and well, that's gonna be a super strong Twilight Drake.
It's gonna be 4/9.
You can kill him. I mean, you can run in your coin out your Yeti and double overras that minion, but you kind of don't want to, since that's gonna hurt you so much.
Oh damn! Oh, another Twilight Drake.
This is just super nice for Silhan. Sometimes you can play everything right. It doesn't matter, but the enemy cards are just too good. And this game looks like it's going to be one of those games at the moment for Lothar. He has a swipe. That's a good thing to have already. But he runs to have a silence, especially if there's a second Twilight Drake with so much HP coming.
It's just so tough.
I mean, you got 2 4 9s against you. This is just redonkulous in the end.
It is. And he has a Salnus Soulfire combo on his hand. So you could just get rid of the Yeti. Boom, see ya.
Yeah, he can get rid of everything if he wants to with what he rolled here, and he can just trade. So he's down on 21. And that's actually a threat. So next turn, Lothar could, if he want to, just go for Savage Roar and deal 13 damage. Like 6 on the board, plus 6 from the Roar, plus 2 from the hero ability. And that's quite a really strong start. And he loses Harrison with his Soulfire. It
Great.
doesn't matter at all. It's a 5/4 minion. But well, who cares? You don't need him.
Nah, you don't need him.
Would you swipe here maybe? Like
No.
the left one to get it killed? Or Razz him?
The problem is you want to go Wrath and trade in with your Harvest Golem, but then you have 3 mana left and can't really do anything. Like, sure.
Well,
you can hero ability, but I mean, cool. You deal 1 damage, you get 1 armor, always nice. But the problem is if he plays his Drake, it's gonna get traded next turn. Like, is he just gonna run it in? No, he's not.
If you want to have your Azure Drake out and then do the 5 damage swipe, that would be so good. But it's just not going to happen.
I think what he's going to do is trade the 4/5 into the Harvest Golem, and then just I would have just Soulfired.
Well, he could,
Shadow Flame, sorry.
yeah, he could also just play Watcher Shadow Flame, as you said, or just silence it. It works similar. So he can just trade with his stuff on the board, and it just looks extremely potent for him. If we see a swipe on the 4/3 or on the 4/5, there's just going to be a 3/3 on the board, another 4 attack minion. The all might die, okay? The all might die. But still, there are those 4 attack minions on the board.
I think it was okay, but risky. Like, if there's a Selnus swipe, you would lose 1 Drake, the Owl, and you would still have a 3/1 and a 4/1 on the board. But if he's going for
Double
Innovate
swipe.
Rest, for example, yeah, or even double swipe would clear the board almost.
Oh,
Clear the
he
board.
needs 2 turns for it. Well, was Innervate
Or
not?
Innovate 1,
Yep.
and only your 3/1 would survive.
I guess I would have healed up my my Twilight Drake, but now we're on
Really?
Lothar's turn. Yeah, you could have healed him. He was on 19 HP, so he could have also healed up a Twilight Drake instead of himself. That would have been okay. He would have had a 4/6 instead of a 4/3 now.
Would be at 19 HP, correct?
Yeah, that's still okay.
It's dangerous if he just goes for Selnus swipe and then plays the Force of Nature raw combo, you're dead.
But you have still your Ancient Watcher Taunter in your hand, so you're safe. You're quite safe. It's okay. Well, there's a Karen now, but that Karen just feels.
Karen is so slow.
And he even gets in Defend of Argus, so just plus a Molten Giant. This is really good for him.
I think go with Watcher, taunt up your Owl. Or no, go with Watcher, taunt up the 3/3, the Earthen Ring Farseer, and your Watcher, and then attack the face. I wouldn't taunt the Twilights.
The good thing by taunting up the Twilights is
They kill Karen.
yeah, they have 5 attacks, so they would kill Karen. You bring him down to 16. That's the only thought process why maybe do that. Oh, that Kodo can actually kill the 2/3
Yeah,
or the
2/3 or
2/1.
2/1.
But you want to swipe now. You just want to swipe.
You want to swipe, and yeah, you would like to play the Kodo, but you can't.
Yeah, just swipe.
Would you
Wrath,
swipe? I wouldn't even swipe. I would play my Azure Drake and go for
4 damage Wrath.
4 damage Wrath.
But you
But the
cannot.
problem is you cannot kill the other Drake.
Yeah, that's what hurts you the most. I mean, that's 5 damage. There's at the moment, that's 5. If 1 Drake would die, only 1 Drake, it would be 7, 10, 12 damage on the board, and you're down to 16. That's just not bearable. Selnus Hellfire, and you're screwed. So you need to swipe here just to get the Owl kill too. I mean, it's a 2/1 minion, but it's just 2 damage you're getting every turn, and you're down to 16.
Oh, yes, Wrath.
And he even draws a card, so that's a good thing. Well, if he could kill a 3/2 with a Wrath also instead of the 5/5.
That wouldn't make sense.
That wouldn't make sense.
Oh.
He gets a Force of Nature plus, so he needs to survive 2 more turns, and he actually has the potential to win the game here. This turned just really well for Lothar. But he needs to survive 2 more turns to go crazy mode. For Silhan,
He could go Salnus, Watcher, Shadow Flame the Watcher, and attack the face.
and then even if you go Selnus, Shadow Flame, Watcher, he cannot. Well, I never said it. Well, Siphon Soul is even better. I never said anything. I wanted to say if you go Selnus, Agent Watcher, Shadow Flame, and then he plays his Sun Fury Protector, but no 10 mana here, so I was just exceeding the mana limit like crazy.
Either.
But Siphon Soul is just crazy. Brings him up to 20. He brings his enemy down to 12. As soon as he draws a Leroy, that's 6 more damage.
I think it was really risky though to go for the draw. Like, what did he want to get? Another Soulfire?
Well, anyways, he could have just ran in his complete board. So he just run in your 3/2 and your 2/2 in worst case scenario. And still you can play your Ancient Watcher, Blood Mage Selnus, you can taunt them up. So you're safe in theory, whatever happens.
Would you go for Code of Wrath now?
Code of Wrath is one possible play. You could drop your Keeper of the Grove, but you kind of want to, silence away a big Taunter, for example, still.
I mean, the Twilight Drakes are gone.
Yeah, I guess Code of Wrath makes the most sense.
And he still has the big Game Hunter, right? And the Black Knight. So, he has potential to get rid of taunts.
Yeah. Code of Wrath seems to be a good play. You still have your Keeper of the Grove to deal 2 damage. And the thing is, he can always deal 2 damage, but the Kodo can only kill a 2 attack or less minion. And that's why I agree here with the Kodo play, since
there aren't that many 2 attack or less minions in a handlock. I mean, we have the Sun Fury Protectors, we have the Owl, and we have Selnus. That's about it, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
So 4 to 5 cards, depending if you run 1 or 2 Owls.
Well, he's down to 20, and next turn, at the moment, with Force of Nature Roar from Lothar, it would be a huge amount of damage. But we see Leroy.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, if
see Leroy, there's no overwhelming or faceless.
We have Leroy, so something is possible here. But if he plays Earthen Ring Farseer plus Ancient Watcher plus Sun Fury Protector, this just saves his ass. But he needs to taunt up both.
Why?
Oh, it's still risky. I mean, I would taunt up both. If there is a Force of Nature Roar coming, that Kodo is having 5 HP, he just killed the 1 taunter, and then you take 14 damage to your face.
Well, that's fine. And you still have 7.
But there's no.
If he actually does that, he wins the round next turn.
He wins it anyways if his 2/3
Leroy
survives.
Hellfire, yeah, and if it's 3/3 survives, it's Leroy Hellfire, boom.
Yeah, but I would still taunt up both. It feels just better for me. There's even if there's a Black Knight coming and he kills the 3/3 with his Kodo, there's still his 2/3 surviving, and he only needs his 2/3 minion to survive to win the game.
2/3 survives regardless.
Yeah, well, no. If he plays, if he really goes crazy with his Force of Nature, Roar, whatever, he can kill everything. Nonetheless,
that's true.
Nevertheless, but well, now, so for example, if he goes Force of Nature, Roar, he can kill the minion in the middle. He can kill the minion to the left and the right, and deal damage to the face. And if he leaves one alive, he's screwed. Since there's
but does he know that?
Well, that would be the safest play. Just the safest play. What do you want to do else? So you could heal yourself up by 5. And then you're up to 16. That feels good too. But there's 5 damage on the board from your enemy.
You want to clear the board somehow. So the only option you have is Force of Nature Raw.
Well, if you heal yourself up by 5, you taunt up, then you're on 17. That's okay. If you play Azure Drake and you get a swipe, for example.
That would be ridiculously lucky.
No, but even then, if you go Azure Drake swipe, the
2 damage would stay on the board.
Yeah.
You would lose. That's correct. Still would be super lucky to draw the swipe.
Well, with Force of Nature Roar, you can clear, but as we already said, you really don't want to, since you want to have the super combo. But as we see now for Silhan, that's Leroy, 6 damage, plus Selnus and Hellfire, that would be 10, and he has 5 damage on the board. Now even more, so he could go...
He has 5 damage on the board. Let's count it. Leroy is another 6, 11.
Plus Hellfire, that's only 15, plus Selnus Hellfire. So he's safe 2 HP at the moment, but...
1 HP if he goes for Selnus Hellfire.
The good thing is Selnus Shadow Flame just clears the board. No regrets. Selnus Shadow Flame followed up by Defender of Argus, and he even deals, instead of 5 damage, 7 damage.
That's great. And he's down to 9. And then next turn he can, even if he clears the board, he can Leroy Hellfire.
Oh, he life taps. It works the same. You can still go Selnus, Shadow Flame, and then go
Fury.
Sun Fury instead of your...
You miss out on 2 damage though.
Yeah, you miss out on 2 damage, but
like I don't know what he wanted to draw. Maybe if he got the Soul Fire, he would have won, right?
Well, Power Overwhelming. No, well, he lost Power Overwhelming if I'm correct. This is also a possible move. So you just Shadow Flame your Leroy. It all comes down. It all comes down to the same thing. I still would have preferred to keep my Leroy for more surprise stuff.
Well, that way he has a really strong board, and there's no way Force of Nature, Raw, Double Innervate could kill him.
Well, couldn't have killed him anyways.
With Double Innervate?
Yeah, even with Double Innervate, that would have been that crazy. Nah, he would have survived somehow. So that's
with Double Innervate he would have lost.
That's even a crazy. Well, Double Innervate and what you want to play. That's
Druid of the Claw, charge mode.
Oh, that's for more damage. But
no, it's 6 more damage with Raw.
With
that
Raw,
would be 20 damage. He's on 19.
Yeah, but you need to kill the minions first.
No.
They're like, he would have taunted them up with his Sun Fury Protector. You just got caught in your action here.
No, that's not true. Like if he had just ripped his...
It's okay, Kai. We're back here. We're 2 turns advanced by now, and we're back to Silhan. Like we just totally missed out Lothar healing himself, and he even gets a Soulfire, so he just attacks Shadow, Hellfire, Soulfire. It's just enough to win here.
Yep, easy.
So in the end, so even Selnus Soulfire would be enough. He doesn't even need to Hellfire here to win the game. That's exactly the 5 damage he needs to win the first game here. The first game, I'm lying, to win the second